Hey, what's up, JoJo in the morning? I hope everybody's having a really good day. I want to talk to you about some stuff today that I think is really going to help you. But first, I want to ask you a really important question. Do you like hot coffee or iced coffee? Put it in the comments below. That question is a lot more important than you think. See, this is actually cold coffee. The only reason I'm drinking it is because I made a certain type of. I have a special recipe. Don't ask for my recipe for one of my daughters, and she didn't drink all of it. It was cold, so I was trying it. I really like cold coffee. I didn't know that because I'm just a straight up hot coffee type of guy. You never know. You never know what you're going to like until you try it. I remember saying 5, 6 years ago, I would never have a church. Got one. I would not be doing, a lot of videos on social media. I do a lot of. I didn't have any interest in being a health coach with Optavia. Absolutely love it. I remember one time I was at a conference and I was talking to this young man, and his wife said, "You may go get y'all coffee." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, that'd be great, thank you." And so they went and got us coffee, came back, and there was cream in it. And I preached, if you don't drink coffee black and straight, something's wrong with you. I first drank of that, I'm like, I like this cream. Said I'd never drink it with cream, but now I do. I said I'd never drink an iced coffee. Look at me go. You never know what God has in store for you. You never know. In 2023, the Lord told me that the last 9 months of the year would be a time to build systems, structures, and strategies. I had no idea that the economy in America, and I'm sure all around the world, would be the way that it is right now. So a lot of things that I used to do in some of my businesses and some of my ministries, I would just do them and they just worked. They just flourished. Some of my businesses, I've had to really sit down and strategically plan out very systematically to get a better effort. Now, there's a lot of people who don't do systems in life, structures or strategies, and when times are hard, they're really struggling. I was talking to some guys the other day in some similar businesses that I have, and they didn't really sit down and put a pencil to some things, and they got themselves in a jam. They did. And so it's good to sit back and look. Like when I'm discipling young men and I say like, hey, how's your walk with God? And they're like, well, this, that, and the other. First time, when do you read the Word every day? After work sometimes I go to the gym and then I try to this and that. And when do you pray? Like when's your designated prayer time? Well, I try to grab some prayer on the way to work. Oh, you're praying while you're driving. Like when do you sit down and pray? Well, I'm like, man, no, come on. You need designated times. You ask a lady, girl, when's your next hair appointment? April the 18th at 9:30 a.m. Chair C at this and this studio. They know about their hair, y'all. And so people, they don't structure out their life. My wife and I, one of the reasons we have such a great marriage is the coffee date. We have a coffee date every single day. When one of us are traveling in ministry, even when we're traveling and she has, like if a young lady goes with her, if I take a guy with me or something traveling, I'll say, excuse me, I got to have a 30-minute coffee date with my wife. And so my wife and I, we get a cup of coffee and we get on the phone and talk. We build that structure in to make sure that we have a good time together to talk. It's the same way with the Lord. It's the same way in business. I was talking to somebody on some business consulting the other day, and they're like, "Man, my business is just not as going as good as it is." And I said, "Well, if you look at the stock market right now, it's called like a bear market. The economy's down. Hopefully, it will go back up, but for too much longer. But they're predicting it might be a little while for that." And I said, so we know that there's trends in the market, in society. You can follow the trends of society. I'm talking natural stuff. So you have to plan accordingly. They didn't plan accordingly. Like there's one person in my family, I don't want to say who he is, but he doesn't look at the weather. He just puts on something and goes. And that one guy that I won't mention, his wife says, "Hey, Joe, did you know it's going to be 85 today and you're wearing a hoodie?" "Joe, did you know it's 60 outside and it's going to drop to 45 by midday and you're wearing a short sleeve shirt to work?" I didn't. I wasn't. I don't plan accordingly. My wife is super administrative and she plans accordingly. She has calendars for everything. And she keeps our family functioning. Let's talk about my wife real quick. Monday night is family night. Don't you dare plan anything on Monday night. Monday night is family night. My wife, phenomenal cook. And she cooks. The family comes in, phones down, we eat, and then we have an activity. A lot of times it's hot tub night in the winter, late night swimming when it's summer, or Monopoly night, which this week I got last. Pride comes before a fall. Your boy was bragging, y'all. I was bragging to my family. I won 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Smoked them. No prisoners. Just no prisoners in this. I just took them to school. I got spanked down last night. It wasn't even funny. Well, they thought it was hilarious. I did not see the humor in it. But my wife structures out family nights. I've been having a Tuesday night prayer meeting for 11 years. And we've structured that into our life for the last 11 years. That we would have this prayer night. There's things in life that you got to structure in. You got to be strategic. I remember, probably 28 years ago, I asked the Lord, like, "God, I need a life scripture." And he gave me Mark 1:35. I didn't know what it meant. So I went and looked it up. Jesus got up early in the morning, went to a solitary place where he prayed. So I get up early and pray. That's what I do. Every morning, first thing I do, I go to the prayer chair right there and I pray. I get up early. And so I structure that into my day for 28 years. I've got consistency in it. When we have like a new person in our health coaching business, it's coaching. I'm like, "Hey, this is what we do. If you want to be successful, I'm going to show you a few simple tips that you can do 10 or 15 minutes a day, and you'll have a successful business because of it." And then people, their businesses aren't thriving, I say, "Are you doing the basic, simple steps that I tried to build into the fabric and the structure of your day-to-day life?" I can answer it for them. And so I can tell who's doing the work and who's not by the numbers that they produce. It's like if you see somebody coming into church that's fired up, they're on point, they're focused, you bet they've been in the Word, they've been in prayer. People that come in dragging and blah, 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 blah. They're watching the news, secular media. They're watching the news. They're not reading. They're doing all this crazy stuff. Their mind's not focused where it should be. You got to have systems in place, structures and strategies. And people say, "Well, I don't think I can do that." Do you go to work every day and are you on time? did you get a high school diploma? If you did, you went to school long enough, met their criteria, and you did it. You can do this. I mean, do you eat every day? Do you take a shower? Some of you maybe not. But you can get yourself on a pattern, but it's got to be intrinsic. You got to be motivated from inside. And when you do that, things will change in your life. Things will shift in your life. And so what I tell people to do, I was talking to my kids the other day, and I'm like, get your piece of paper, write down your priorities, time block it. And if you want to be real systematic, and sometimes I do this, I will start my day, let's say we'll start at say 5:30 a.m., and I'll block every 30 minutes, and I'll write what I'm going to do. And if I stay on my schedule, I'll get accomplished everything that I need to get done that day. So if you're not happy with the results that you have in your life right now, the things that you know God put in your life, get you a system and a structure. Write down. And the best time to do this is right after prayer. Right after a good time in prayer, write it down. A lot of times I do this in prayer. I'll go to the Lord and I'll be in prayer and I'm like, all right, God, I need to structure out my next few weeks. Please speak to me so I'll know how to do this. And I'll do that, write it down, and boy, he'll start speaking to me about stuff and it's really helped me prioritize. And one day I was in prayer and I was writing something down, and the Lord said that doesn't need to be a priority this week. I said, oh, okay, I don't understand that. And then he put something as a priority that I didn't really see. So I wrote it down. About Tuesday of that next week, just the thing that he made a priority, it was an influx of people asking me about that. And I was like, whoa, God knows what he's doing. God can help you plan stuff out. God can help plan things. Like our family vacations are very important because we're into building a strong family. That's something that we always do, is we structure in a good vacation, sometimes a few vacations in the summer, and then we do multiple vacations throughout the year, but we structure them in because family is important. You will make time for what is important to you. So, hope that helped. Systems, structures, and strategies. Write things down, get it down. Man, God's got a lot of cool stuff over the next 9 months for a lot of people. But do the work, man. Get in there and apply yourself to whatever God has called you to. And we're still working out some of the stuff on the mentoring program. But I just want to help as many people as I possibly can in the mentoring, because I want to help see people succeed. You know, we're going to do some one-on-one coaching, some one-on-one mentoring. And I really want to see some people walk in the fullness of the things that God has for you. Okay? Hey, if you ever need to get a hold of me for anything, you can message me through Facebook Messenger. I use that. Make sure it's the real me. Okay? And then also email. You can go to the website, jojoedawson.net. There's a place to email me. There has been people that have emailed me and I didn't get the email, but for the most part, I do get the emails. So email me, and I'd love to help as many people as I possibly can. Love you guys, and hope you have a blessed day.